In this video, we will cover Socratic questions. Socratic questions can help instructors to promote independent, higher-level thinking in their students. It engages students in learning through discussion, debate, evaluation, and analysis of material. There are 6 types of Socratic questions. First type is clarification questions. Clarification questions help to explain the thinking clearly. Questions that may be asked for this purpose include: why do you say that? What do you mean by? How does this relate to our discussion? What do you think is the main issue? Could you expand upon that point further? For example, child says, "Online classes are boring." You ask, "Why do you say that? What part of the online class do you find boring?" Second type of Socratic questions is assumption questions. Assumption questions challenge generalizations and asks for alternative views. A person interested in these questions may ask, "Why would someone make this assumption? What could we assume instead? How can you verify or disprove that assumption?" For example, if it is said, "Everyone should get up at 5 a.m. to be productive," you ask, "Are we assuming that all people work best early in the morning? Could we assume that some people are more productive at night instead?" Third type of Socratic questions are evidence questions. Evidence questions help to promote critical thinking by asking for facts. A person interested in these questions may ask, "What would be an example? What do you think causes to happen? Why? What other information do we need? By what reasoning did you come to that conclusion? Is there reason to doubt that evidence?" For example, a friend says, "This brand of juice is the healthiest." You ask, "What is your evidence for that? Did you check the sugar content or ingredients?" Viewpoint questions. It helps in exploring both sides of an argument. Following questions may be included in this category. What would be an alternative? What is another way to look at it? How would other groups of people respond and why? What might someone who believed think? Would you explain why it is necessary or beneficial? And who benefits? Why is the best? What are the strengths and weaknesses? How are similar? What is a counterargument for example, someone says, "Mobile phones should be banned in schools." You ask, "What is another perspective on this? Can phones be helpful for learning if used responsibly?" Fifth type of Socratic questions is implication questions. Implication questions help to connect ideas to possible real-world outcomes. A person interested in evidence questions may ask, "What generalizations can you make? What are the consequences of that assumption? What are you implying? How does tie in with what we learned before?" For example, a teacher says, "Children do not need physical education classes." You ask, "What might happen if this is true? Could this lead to health problems among students?" Sixth type of Socratic questions is questioning the question. Questioning the question encourages reflection on the purpose and value of the question itself. A person interested in questioning the question may ask, "Why is this question important? What was the point of this question? Why do you think I asked this question? What does mean? How does apply to everyday life?" For example, someone asks, "Should uniforms be mandatory in schools?" You ask, "Why are we asking this question? Are we trying to improve student equality or discipline?" Think of some examples from everyday life where we can use Socratic questions for critical thinking and effective communication. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you, and see you in the next video.